These two sisters are the most technologically advanced, custom-designed and built ships we have ever experienced. This video includes a beautiful ship tour, a dining guide, a rundown of their main features, and a look at their incredibly expensive exploration equipment, all designed to give their guests the ultimate experience. This is the cutting edge of cruising. Welcome to the world of Viking Expedition. Hello, today we're in the US state of Wisconsin. More precisely, we're in Milwaukee, where we've got on board this beauty, the Viking Polaris. We've got a full week on board experiencing Viking's Niagara and the Great Lakes itinerary, which takes us from here, Milwaukee, in the US, to Toronto in Canada. We'll have a full vlog coming out all about this beautiful part of the world and what we saw and did, so look out for that one. But in the meantime, this video is all about the Viking Polaris. This ship is one of the most technologically advanced vessels we've ever sailed on, and quite frankly, we're super excited to be able to show you everything. So in this video, we're going to try and give you as much info about the ship, her facilities, her accommodation, her dining options, and her little design quirks and incredible equipment that makes her unique in the world of expedition cruising.
3, 2, 1, go!
Wow. There's a huge amount to cover. Also, we'll answer the obvious question, is Viking Polaris and her sister Viking Octanits any good? We're going to reveal all. Thank you for joining us. Yes, that was rather a lengthy intro. So we're going to jump right in and show you around. Let's go. Before we look around inside, let's start with how these ships look from the outside. With a length of 665 feet and a beam of 77 feet, Viking Expedition ships are not only long and thin, they look long and thin. Compare this with a Viking Ocean ship that is 745 foot long and 94 feet wide. They look decidedly bulky compared to these, but those ships take 930 guests, whereas Polaris here has a maximum guest capacity of just 378. To me, they look unlike any cruise ship, which are normally quite chubby around the waistline and often top-heavy to the eye. Viking Polaris is pencil thin, and there's a very good reason for that. At 77 feet wide, she is designed with the remit that she must fit into the tightest locks of the Welland Canal, which connects Lake Ontario to Lake Erie in Canada. With the locks only 80 feet wide, it's a tight fit, but ensures that Polaris and Octantis can go where virtually every other major cruise line cannot, the Great Lakes of the US and Canada. Visually, her hull is perfectly proportionate to her upper decks. She's not high at all, and her bow looks strong and purposeful, ready to take on those unforgiving seas where these ships are designed and engineered to go. Both Viking Polaris and Octantis feature an unusual parabolic bow design. What is a parabolic bow? Well, the sharp front end of the ship is a lot more vertical than conventional cruise ships and have a few important benefits that traditional designs can't compete with. Traditional bows tend to ride over waves, which cause a significant pitching and up and down movement in rough seas. A parabolic bow, on the other hand, pierces through waves, minimizing the vertical motion. This results in a much smoother experience for passengers. Have you ever been on the dreaded Drake Passage on the way to Antarctica or the Norwegian Sea heading true north? You'll know what I mean. Simply put, traditional cruise ships' forward-sloping bows are much more suitable for calm open seas, where stability is easier to maintain. But these ships are perfectly built for both scenarios, and in my opinion, a parabolic bow looks super cool too. Okay, let's talk about the public areas of the ship. A sort of deluxe ship tour, but slightly more informative and immersive. Let's go inside. You embark on Deck A into this purpose-built area that doubles as a sort of posh, well-organised mudroom. This is where you get togged up for all those messy adventures you may face in the polar regions. You'll see all the expedition team's lockers here, and their smart bright red all-weather gear. It features a glass ceiling which gives you views of the decks above. Again, another unique design feature we've yet to see in any other ship. Also on Deck A is the hangar. This cavernous space houses all the equipment you need to properly explore the great watery outdoors. There's the customary kayaks and zodiacs here, but the hangar also holds a few unique and very expensive surprises. More about those later. There's also a science lab here where the full-time onboard scientists go about their daily business, monitoring, reporting, measuring, and generally helping to make the planet a much safer place. More about the expedition team later in this video. Up to deck 1 and at the very bow of the ship is the Hide, another unique public relaxation space that no other ship we've been on features. Late night drinks, smooth live music, and travellers' tales are enjoyed alongside shots of your favourite spirit poured over glacier-sized chunks of ice. The view this low down as the ship moves through the water through these large angular windows is something you'll want to experience. It was one of our favourite nighttime post-dinner venues. Midships on deck 1 is the Explorer's Desk area, where guest services are on hand to help you with day-to-day queries, and opposite them and across the glass void we mentioned earlier is a bar, serving hot and cold, soft and not so soft drinks, and serves as a pre-dinner venue for the areas behind it, 2 restaurants. Serving regional dishes, Scandinavian specialities, and always available classics, the restaurant is one of 2 90-seat dining venues for evening-only a la carte dining. More about this and the other dining venues later in the video, where we present a mini complete dining guide. Opposite the restaurant is Manfredi's Italian restaurant. We're going to show you some dishes and menus later in the video, so stay tuned. But for now, take a look at this lovely decor. And also, that mysterious red door that always seems to be in Manfredi's restaurants. Do you know what that is? Leave us a comment. Sandwiched between these 2 restaurants is a private dining space if you want to host your own private party. Up to deck 2, which is the lowest deck with Nordic balcony staterooms, which are situated forward of the expedition central and studio area around the aforementioned glass void. This is a hub for the expedition team to consult with guests and share knowledge on a one-to-one basis. Got any questions? They're sure to answer them. The corridor that leads to the spa is long, but look down and you'll discover a floor embedded with the names of destinations visited by these ships in beautifully detailed brass letters. They even had our embarkation port here. One of the highlights of any Viking ocean ship is the spacious and luxuriously equipped Nordic Spa, and on the expedition ships, the Nordic Spa takes it up a notch with this incredible main pool area with floor-to-ceiling windows running along the side of the ship. There's a ton of features here, including hot stone beds nestled in their own little cave, a traditional barda stamp that sits in a private sheltered outside area. Imagine that in Antarctica. Oh, lovely. The sauna also has a window that looks upon the barda stamp. There's lots of other features in the spa, but you'll have to watch our voyage vlog to watch us sample them all, including being doused by the bucket of cold water. Of course, being a spa, there's massage rooms and a hair salon too. The fitness area opposite is very well equipped with the latest techno-gym machines, and there's a studio attached where you can select workouts on the large screen and follow along any time of the day. At the aft of deck 2 is the Aula lobby, where there's tea and coffee 24/7 and some great top-down views of the hangar from here. The lobby leads to this original theatre space called the Aula. This stunning panoramic auditorium is inspired by the University of Oslo's famed ceremonial hall, the former venue for the Nobel Peace Prize ceremony. Used for lectures, daily briefings, documentaries and films, this amazing venue features a 4K laser projector screen that retracts to expose floor-to-ceiling windows and 270-degree views of the ocean falling away behind you. We've never seen an aft-facing theatre before, and this one is stunning. Behind the Aula is the Finse Terrace, named after the Finse Plateau in Norway, where some of the greatest polar explorers, including Nansen and Amundsen, did their expedition training in preparation for their North and South Pole expeditions. This is an outdoor lounge area almost in touch with the sea, generously proportioned with recessed, heated couches and lava rock fire pits. It's another beautifully designed area that is quite unlike anything we've seen. This ship surprises us at every turn. Up to deck 3, which apart from the travel consultant's future cruise desk and the small shop, is mostly staterooms until you reach the bow of the ship, where you'll discover the shelter, a covered seating area for those who like spending a lot of time on the bow, which on expedition ships, you'll probably find yourself up here a lot. Imagine being here when this ice-strengthened bow is slicing through the sea ice in one of the polar regions. Honestly, if you've never experienced that before, nothing can prepare you for it. Straight to deck 4 now, and while the deck is mostly staterooms and suites, the beautiful Explorer's Lounge occupies prime position at the front. Incorporating Pap's Bar, affectionately named after Mamsen's husband and the patriarch of the Hagen family, it's a familiar and homely place for Viking ocean regulars, with styling cues and carefully curated artifacts borrowed from the ocean ship's namesake. Like the ocean ships, the Explorer's Lounge is 2-tier, with a smaller upstairs than the ocean ships, naturally, but incorporating this pretty constellation ceiling that looks good in the day, but even more impressive at night. Now we're on deck 5, behind the Explorer's Lounge mezzanine, we find the library, one of Helen's favourite spots to relax and update her daily voyage diary. Specially curated books from renowned London bookshop Haywood Hill and Scott Polar Research Institute at Cambridge University, this collection has something of interest on every shelf. Behind the library is the living room, another homely venue with a bar for drinks during the day or evening, a wide range of seating, and a large screen, tempting you with Viking's delicious itineraries around the world. Moving further back, we find Mamsen's, the Norwegian deli, and one of the areas that draw you in with tempting treats and tasty small plates. More on that later. Behind Mamsen's is the World Cafe, the ship's self-service dining venue, which you will see in a little more mouth-watering detail soon. Behind the World Cafe at the aft of the ship is the Aquavit Terrace, another familiar name to Viking regulars and another popular place to relax during the day, with the bar inside, leading to an alfresco area with sun lounges and an interesting pool setup. This pool lets you bathe inside, then move outside onto the rear terrace, where you'll find 2 additional pools, each of differing temperatures as you extend your Nordic spa experience with hot, temperate and cold plunges. Also outside is a lovely sun deck area and outdoor seating for the Aquavit Terrace, but apologies for the drab visuals. Inclement weather came upon us without warning, and this was the only chance I got to film here. Finally, on the topmost deck, where the weather had transformed this pretty area into what resembles a drab UK seaside promenade in midwinter. Thankfully, I can show you some of my vlog footage of this open deck in use during our cruise, which I hope will give you a more realistic view of its welcoming outdoor furniture, which is put to good use as the main area for deck parties and balloon launches. Wait a minute, balloon launches? Yes, but I'm saving that for the voyage vlog. And let's take a look at the dining options on board, shall we? As the ship is only small, consider this our Viking Expedition Ships complete dining guide, inserted into this compilation video instead of a standalone guide, for your convenience. We start at one of our favourites on the ocean ships, which thankfully makes an appearance on Octantis and Polaris, Mamsen's. This cafe-style venue, named after the Hagen family matriarch, offers traditional Norwegian specialities and light dishes for breakfast, lunch, and also afternoon snacks, including waffles made to Mamsen's original recipe. Not only are the waffles a must-try at least once, and probably tempting to have daily if you're like me, the open sandwiches are a delight, and the cakes here include my favourite on board, which unfortunately for my waistline is served daily here, the Prince's Cake. The crockery here has an interesting story behind it too, but being short on time here, I urge you to watch our complete Viking Ocean Dining Guide, where I reveal this fascinating tale of how this came to be. The largest and most available venue is World Cafe, the sprawling eatery towards the rear of Deck 5, featuring open kitchens, a dedicated seafood and sushi bar, a superb grill serving burgers, hot dogs, and in the evenings, prime steaks and surf and turf. Yes, that's right, lobster tails and filet mignon every single night, as well as a myriad of other international cuisines and immaculately presented choices of savoury and sweet dishes that will tempt you back day after day. This is no ordinary buffet-style venue. The evenings are very good indeed, and you'll eat here a lot. Our favourite spot was right at the back of the Aquavit Terrace, where it was always quiet and next to the bar, which has obvious benefits. If you can tear yourself away from the delicious cakes in Mamsen's, The hot and cold sweet treats here are simply too good to resist. I had a strong will when I boarded, but within a couple of days, I'd fallen right off the wagon. Beware, you may suffer the same fate. The restaurant is what we would describe as the main a la carte evening eatery on board, even though it has just 90 covers, which is exactly the same as Manfredi's next door. Like Manfredi's, you'll have to book the restaurant in advance, so please be aware of that prior to boarding. This elegant fine dining venue offers regional cuisine, Scandinavian specialities and always available classics, accompanied by an included wine selection. Beer, wine and soft drinks are included with onboard lunch and dinner, and if you wish to upgrade to a fully inclusive drinks package, including those available in the bar, we found the Silver Spirits drink package incredible value at just $25 per person per day. Manfredi's is inspired by Italy's beloved trattorias and offers the best Italian cuisine, from hearty Tuscan home-style dishes to Italian favourites. We always say that there's no such thing as Italian fine dining. The dishes are always so plentiful, hearty, rich and full of flavour. Well, it's designed to give you a full stomach and a huge smile. We can't argue with that, and Manfredi's is one of the best Italian restaurants at sea. All these restaurants and the food in a little more detail will appear in the Experience Review vlog we will be releasing from this Canada and Great Lakes itinerary, so please keep a lookout for that in the coming months. Finally, there's 24-hour room service, and although we didn't get the chance to sample this for you, here's the menu that can be found in your stateroom or suite, which features a selection of menu items found in the World Cafe and the restaurant. Speaking of staterooms and suites, we stayed in room 4012, a Nordic penthouse, which is one of the top grades of balcony stateroom you can enjoy on board. With standard and deluxe Nordic balcony rooms, you get 215 square feet of space, but with a Nordic penthouse, you get 269 square feet of space. All categories of room above this are suites. Unfortunately for us, we were sailing full, so I can't show you the various categories of room and suite, but I can show you our Nordic penthouse. Except for the larger size and a few little priority booking and minibar extras, almost all of the features of the room are the same as the categories below it. We've got a much more detailed look around the Nordic penthouse in a separate video, so head over to that and we'll show you why these staterooms are so well designed. All the little details in the rooms are available to take home with you should you wish to keep one or two. But please bear in mind, they will be charged to your room account at the rate on this price list you'll find in your room. Warning, some of them are eye-wateringly expensive. Right, let's talk tech. These are expedition ships after all, and Viking have really loosened their wallets when it comes to some truly remarkable expedition equipment. When you come on board Viking Polaris or Octantis for a voyage, you're joining an expedition team that partners with some of the world's most notable scientific and research institutions. For the size of ship and number of guests, the team is huge, and their expertise covers every aspect of your expedition, from climate to wildlife, flora and fauna, geology, history, even how to make a good s'mores. These people really know what they're talking about and make the voyage more exciting, interesting, and, well, just tons of fun. The team, along with you, the guest, will actively collect scientific data and submit it to the relevant governing body, meaning that each voyage contributes to the better understanding of our world and its ultimate preservation. Never have we felt so satisfied drinking that perfectly chilled cocktail on a ship that at the same time is discovering new and wonderful things all about our planet in real time. It's quite a feeling. The hangar is a huge area on the ship that contains everything the expedition team need to thrill the guests and collect vital data. From polar-tested super stable 2-seat kayaks to custom-built Zodiacs, each costing $65,000. The headline features of these ships are a lot more expensive than that. 2 military-grade special operations boats, each costing a cool $1.4 million, are incredible, but unfortunately we didn't get a chance to try them on this voyage, so here's some footage kindly supplied by Viking to show you them in action. On the Great Lakes, of course. Even more cool is that they are launched by this custom motorised ramp straight out of the aft of the ship. We've never seen anything like this before on any cruise. Top billing in the hangar goes to Ringo and George, the ship's 2 yellow submarines. Can you guess what the two are called on board Viking Octantis? It's not difficult. Costing $4.5 million each and staffed by their own full-time submarine captains, these vessels will accommodate 6 guests for an undersea experience that takes them up to 1,000 feet below the waves. This is stuff of a James Bond movie, isn't it? Competition is stiff in the expedition cruise sector, and according to the Cruise Line International Association, there are 81 expedition vessels currently jostling for space in some of the world's most remote and beautiful locations. It's a healthy but extremely competitive market, full of brilliant ships, and Viking are the relative new kids on the block. We've been on quite a few of the 81, and we can honestly say Viking Polaris is unlike any other. It has the comfort and space of a cruise ship, but the technology and capability of the world's best expedition vessels. If you're researching your next big bucket list trip to one of the poles, there are very few ships that are designed for those regions better equipped than these two. We hope you've enjoyed our guide to Viking's groundbreaking expedition ships. Why not continue your Viking journey with us by watching these next? Thank you.